Yingxi Peak Forest is located in southern China's Guangdong province. With more than 1,000 peaks, the forest stretches for more than 20 kilometers across the flat land. These small peaks rising from the ground are the result of hundreds of millions of years of water erosion. This kind of landform is called karst. Some 200 million years ago, there was a vast ocean here. In these seemingly hard rocks, a large number of bones and minerals of marine organisms have been found. Among them, calcium carbonate washed away by continuously running water. The shape of the rocks changed as a result. Hundreds of millions of years of rain erosion has not only carved out peaks, but also scoured out caves underground. The minerals dissolved in the water were deposited here, turning the caves into great halls full of grand columns. The continuous flow of water caused some of these caves to collapse, and the karst contributed a new geomorphic type, sinkholes. This may appear to us as an eye, but it is a sinkhole. The battle between water and rock has crafted Yingxi Peak Forest into a fantastic landscape.
This is one of the most beautiful highways in China. It passes through thousands of islands in the West Sea of Lushan Mountain in Jiangxi province. There are more than 1,600 islands in this area of water, creating a lake of 1,000 islands. The lake is vast and tranquil, with an average depth of 45 meters. On a good day, the visibility in the lake can reach up to 11 meters. "60 kilometers to the northeast of the West Sea, there's a mountainous area. This is the famous Lushan Mountain. Lushan Mountain is not one single mountain, but rather a large upland area consisting of 90 continuous peaks, in which the highest one is 1,474 meters above sea level. Over tens of thousands of years, tectonic movements, glacier erosion, flowing water, and other geological processes have created the diverse landscapes of Lushan Mountain. Running to the north of Lushan Mountain is the Yangtze, the longest river in China. The intense humidity endows Lushan with abundant water resources. There are 22 waterfalls within the mountain. Lushan Mountain is shrouded in mist for nearly 200 days of the year. The average temperature here is 5 to 6 degrees Celsius lower than that in the plains at the same latitude. It has been a famous summer resort since ancient times. There's a city in the clouds, some 1,100 meters above sea level in the mountains. More than 100 years ago, a missionary from the UK built villas here. The average temperature in summer is only 22 degrees Celsius. So it's named Kuling, a name which comes from the English cooling. Today, these ancient villas are still serving tourists who come here to spend the summer.
Every summer, in southeast China's Fujian province, the Louts Terraces in Jining become one of the most beautiful places in China to appreciate flowers. In early summer, lotus leaves on the terraces are eager to emerge from the water and unfurl their beauty. Jining County is located in the middle section of Wui Mountain. The high terrain, with its unique microclimate, is perfect for growing high-quality lotuses. Lotuses have been planted here for thousands of years. The lotuses of Jining are known as the best lotus and are listed as a tribute treasure. There are about 3,300 hectares of lotus flowers here, which produces more than 4,000 tons of seeds every year. In July, the lotus blossom season, the layers of lotus fields become shrouded in mist, creating an enchanted landscape. July and August is the peak period for lotus seeds. The temperature difference between day and night can reach more than 53 degrees Fahrenheit, which provides excellent conditions for the accumulation of nutrients in the lotus seeds and encourages their expansion and plumpness. The lotuses of Jining are mostly cultivated in paddy fields in the mountains. The mountain's spring water flows down, bringing trace elements to the soil, irrigating the lotus fields at the foot of the mountain all the year round. As a result, the well-nourished lotuses of Jining have large seed pods, grow well, and yield high-quality lotus seeds. At this time of year, lotus seed pods fill the local markets. Peel the lotus seeds, and you experience the unique lotus fragrance.
Over time, sand gathers to build strong towers. But drop by drop, the water washes them clean away. Imagine hundreds of millions of tons of water dripping for hundreds of millions of years. How then would the landscape look? Maybe the Yunnan Guizhou Plateau of China is how it would be. The erosion of soluble rocks by running water has resulted in a variety of karst landforms. The total karst area in China is 140,000 square kilometers, and Zhejin Cave National Geopark is just one of them. Zhejin Grand Canyon is a miraculous natural landscape revered by geologists as a top-class karst landscape. There are 7 natural bridges on the upper and lower levels, which form a unique masterpiece among geoparks across China. Corrosion by running water opens a window to a subterranean world. Zhejin Cave covers an area of more than 700,000 square meters, which is equivalent to 100 football fields. It takes about 3 hours to tour the whole cave. The highest part of the cave is 50 stories. The huge karst deposits, measuring 200 meters in length, look like an imposing sculpture or fresco. Zhejin Cave is endowed with more than 40 types of karst cave deposits and presents a variety of wonders. The formation of Zhejin Cave has taken at least 2.5 billion years. Entering the cave is like stepping into a time tunnel. It feels as though you are no longer on Earth, but rather have stepped into a land of fantasy. Nestled among the Tianshan Mountains in China's Xinjiang lies the Bayan Bulak grassland, the largest alpine grassland in China. It covers an area of more than 23,000 square kilometers. Bayan Bulak means rich spring water in Mongolian. The surrounding snowy peaks act like a huge reservoir, delivering abundant water resources to the grassland and forming a huge number of lakes and marshes. On the flat grassland, even a small force can alter the direction of a river. Kaidu River, which is composed of meltwater from the Tianshan Mountains, has a total length of more than 500 kilometers and has more than 10,000 bends. find the right viewpoint, and as the sun sets, it's possible to see the reflection of 9 suns, all at the same time. The grassland interior is a paradise for animals. In March each year, juvenile swans set off from India, Southern Africa, and other distant parts of the world to live and breed here. For the young swans, as they learn to fly, the Himalayas pose their first challenge. In the east of China, near the Yellow Sea in Jiangsu, there's a magical island situated a little way off the province's 765 kilometers of coastline. Covering an area of less than 0.2 square kilometers, Tianshan Island is 1,000 meters long from east to west and 200 meters in width. From the air, the island looks for all the world like a giant Chinese salamander with a huge bulbous head. Tianshan Island is about 15 kilometers off the coast and is one of the few coastal islands in Jiangsu province. In the past, the island has been 10 times its size today. However, thousands of years of erosion have seen the rock consumed by the sea little by little, eventually spitting out this small fish-like island. The long tail of this fish appears and disappears at regular intervals with the rise and fall of the tides. It is 2.6 kilometers long and has existed for at least 2,000 years. The divine path of Tianshan Island was formed by the action of the tides against this gravel island. The shores were gradually worn away and eventually collapsed. The debris drifted in the currents round to the south side of the island and was gradually deposited under the waterline for a stretch of over 10 kilometers. The rise and fall of the sea level over time has helped form a mound composed of gravel and debris. This mound is 2.6 kilometers long and extends from the island towards the land. Mounds like this can be seen all along the east coast of China. However, it is very rare for a small island with an area of less than 0.2 square kilometers to have such a feature several times longer and wider than the island itself. It is known as the longest natural avenue at sea in China. As the tide retreats, the divine path reappears in the sea. Those who tread this path seem to be walking on an infinity of water. These volcanoes are more than 200 years away from the last eruption. For volcanoes, more than 200 years is not long at all. They are young volcanoes in China, but they have witnessed the birth of the Wudalianchi scenic area. Erupting lava spread out in all directions. Some of it remained here, cooling and solidifying, forming a black-grey lava plateau, measuring hundreds of square kilometers wide, commonly known as the rock field. More lava flowed along the terrain, blocking the path of the river below, eventually forming 5 beaded lakes. The lakes are interconnected, hence they are known as the Wudalianchi, namely 5 connected lakes. With 14 volcanoes nearby, Wudalianchi, with its concentration of typical volcanic landforms, is a giant natural volcano museum. After hundreds of years, human beings, birds and animals and vegetation have together reshaped the appearance of this land. South Globe Mountain has become the symbol of Wudalianchi, not only because it's the oldest of the 14 volcanoes, but also because there is a naturally formed lake at its top. In winter, it is covered with snow. But in the sun, the volcanic rock beneath is exposed, creating a black and white volcanic spectacle. In the bright sunlight, this volcano museum becomes a landscape beyond the imagination.
Oryuan is known as one of the most beautiful villages in China, and its most beautiful season every year is in the middle and last 10 days of March. Oryuan, located in the northeast of Jiangxi province in southeast China, is a county surrounded by mountains. When spring comes, oilseed rape flowers in Oryuan come into full bloom. These crops, from which oil is extracted, can resist the cold in winter. The crops are sown in the autumn of the previous year and harvested in the summer of the following year. Jiangxi province is a big producer of oilseed rape flowers in China. The most beautiful oilseed rape flowers are in the Jiangling and Hualing areas of Oryuan. Here there are layers of golden terraces planted with oilseed rape flowers, which complement the residential buildings with their typical white walls and black tiles, forming a beautiful natural picture. They are said to be one of the 10 most beautiful terraces in the world. The terraces in Jiangling can be long or short, and wide or narrow. The longest can be tens of meters long, while the short ones only measure 3 or 5 meters. Wide terraces are sometimes 10 meters broad, and narrow ones too narrow for cattle to plough. Large terraces are bigger than basketball courts, and small ones are not enough for an adult to lie down. The terraces are as high as the mountains of Jiangling. Standing by the side of the road on the hillside, you can see so many terraces which stretch out along the ridge of the mountain. Countless terraces combine to form a natural, compelling picture.
This is Xinjiang, China, in the heart of Eurasia, the furthest of any land from the sea on the planet. With little rain, it is an arid and lifeless place. However, there is one exception. With warmer temperatures in April, apricot flowers can't wait to bloom, declaring open the flower season in the伊犁 Kazakh Autonomous Prefecture. These wild apricot forests are distributed across the hillsides of the伊犁River Valley in Xinjiang. Their delicate flowers dislike the humid climate of southern China. They are resistant to drought and cold, and are more suitable for living in the north. Xinjiang has the largest concentration of apricot trees in China. The apricot forest before us is the largest and densest primitive wild fruit forest. It provides a rare opportunity for local people to domesticate the wild apricot trees and improve their varieties. Apricot blossoms last only a week from blossoming to withering. In the flowering season, if you want to capture their beauty, then you must be quick. Mount Emei, located in the southwest of Sichuan province, with its back to the Qinghai Tibet Plateau and standing in the southwest edge of the Sichuan Basin, is an ancient and famous attraction in China. Three million years ago, the main part of Mount Emei rose sharply along a fault line here. Due to a complex combination of erosion, weathering and collapse, a massive height difference of more than 2,600 meters was formed between today's mountaintop and the Emei plain. The summit of 10,000 Buddhas at an altitude of 3,099 meters is the highest peak of Mount Emei. It has the world's highest and largest metal building complex and is also a World Cultural and Natural Heritage Site. In a commanding position, The Golden Summit, with the biggest concentration of temples and scenic spots on Mount Emei, can be called the largest and highest place of worship of Chinese Buddhism in the world. The Buddha statue of Samantabhadra, measuring 48 meters high, is the highest golden Buddha in the world and is at the heart of the Golden Summit on Mount Emei. The 10 heads of the Buddha statue are divided into 3 layers, each with different expressions, representing the 10 mentalities of ordinary people. Many Chinese people come here to pray for the protection of the Buddha. The Golden Summit is also the perfect location to appreciate the wondrous Mount Emei Sea of Clouds. The 72 peaks of Mount Emei are mostly over 2,000 meters above sea level. The scenery features high peaks above the clouds and ubiquitous white mist. In such an ocean of white, the many peaks appear to float in the clouds like islands. This sea of clouds can surround Mount Emei for more than 330 days a year. Formed by ever-changing patches of mist and fog, they present a unique panorama. Summer and autumn are the best time to view them. At every level, the scene is different. If you're lucky, it's also possible to see Gungar Mountain, 7,590 meters above sea level, in the distance from the Golden Summit.